Okay, in this lesson we're going to look at Word Chapter 1A, the Flyer project, and we're going to start on page 122 in the book. One of the things I like about this series is that it gives you a preview of what the file will look like when you're finished. If you look over on page 122, you see the document there that begins internships available and has a picture of the bird. That is actually what it will look like when we're finished. So this is Word. There are some files that we will need for this lesson. Let's go ahead and take a look at where you can get those. Let's go down to the internet. There are a couple places that you can get that. One is you can go to the classroom. And I generally put the files that we need for the lessons in the course content. But there's another place you can go as well. If you go to www.pearsonhighered.com/go and click on the Microsoft Office 2013 Volume 1, it brings up this box. It also has this box also has tech support, training videos, other files that you might find of use as well. We're going to go to student data files, and from here we would just click on the creating document, and it actually drags down to the bottom. Okay. I myself, by the way, will create a zip file that you will need to extract. I have already saved this file myself to my PC, which I have under my documents, hack. I have saved as well. I've already extracted it. You can see here it's student data files. Okay, great. Let's get started with Word. When you fire up Word, depending upon what you have saved, now as you can see, I myself have a lot of big files here on the left-hand side. This is the opening that you will see. I'm going to go ahead and just select blank document. All right, and let's take a look at the layout of Word. What you see here is called the ribbon. The ribbon has actually been around in Word since, or in Office, I should say, since Office 2007. On top of the ribbon, you see the different tabs, and when I select different tabs, it changes the options: insert, page layout, design, a number of different tabs. Within each tab, there are groups: the font group, the paragraph group, the styles group, and some of the groups have these little items in the corner that allow you to open a dialog box. What the dialog box does is it basically takes the options you have here in the normal group and expands it and gives you more. Throughout the lesson, we will look at different instances which we will need to use that. Okay, let's go ahead and get started with our lesson, and let's go ahead on page 123 and type out our first bit of text. Let's type out internships available. I should point one thing out as well. This, if you look in the home tab of the paragraph group, and this little item up here, this is the show and hide formatting symbols. I turned this on for this lesson so you can sort of see the keystrokes that I'm doing. You don't have to have it on when you're doing normal typing for like papers for class or other things. It's just helpful to have on now so you can see everything that I'm doing. So I have internships available. I'm going to go ahead and hit enter 2 times, and I'm going to go ahead and fill in the text. It's on step 2. I actually have it saved, so I don't have to, so you don't have to sit here and watch me type it. All right, so let's move on to page 124, which shows you all the different default settings for a Word document. If you want to make changes to that, you would go up to the Home tab in the Styles group, right-click on Normal, and select Modify. From here, you can make any changes to the normal templates. Let's say you want to choose a different font style, different font size, coloring, any changes that you want to make, and you can save it. You can also as well create new new styles as well. All right, the next part of the lessons will be inserting a file. If you go to the bottom of page 124, we're going to, let me hit enter here. We're going to go to the insert tab, one of the files that we've pulled down for this lesson. We're going to go to insert. We're going to go over to object, and we're going to click on the arrow, not the object itself, but the arrow. Drop it down and select text from file. Okay, I'm going to go to where I have my files located. And I'm going to grab text W01A text and click insert. All right, that inserts the text that I have. Okay, let's go ahead, while we're working, let's go ahead and save this. So we go to the file, we actually hit the save button here, and it's going to ask us to name it. So let's go ahead and name it. So I want to make sure I save it to my computer, and I'm going to click browse. From here, I'm going to create a new folder called homework, and then within here, I'm going to create a new folder called Word spelled correctly, Word Chapter 1. And then I'm going to save this as my last name, Shodel. Oh. Sorry, I'm jumping in a little bit there. Shodel. Daniel on a flyer. And I'm going to hit save. Computer's being a little bit jumpy today. All right, you can see at the top here we have the name of our file as well. Okay. All right, page 127, text, formatting text using the text effect. Let's go ahead and select our title here, internships available. And on the Home tab, we're going to click on the text effects and typography, and we're going to click down here, and we're going to go down to the third option, third row, and select the first tab. Fill, black, text 1, outline, background 1, hard shadow, background 1. By the way, this is what's referred to as a screen tip. Okay, this little thing you see is called screen tip. So go ahead and select that. And then we're going to change the font size to 52. And then we're going to go back to here, and we're going to choose shadow. And we're going to choose the second option, third one, which is onset left. And finally, we're going to center it. So okay, let me slow down. We've changed the font size to 52. We chose a style. We have off-centered and centered it. When we said shadow and centered it. Finally, we're going to change the color, which is under Home, Font, and we're going to choose Orange Accent 2. Okay, so those are the different things we've done for this part of the lesson. And then we'll go up here and save. All right, page 126, inserting pictures. Let's go ahead and put our cursor to the left of the T in this summer. And we're going to go to the insert, to insert pictures, go to the Insert tab. We're going to Pictures, and then we're going to go to where we have my files located. And we're going to choose Bird, and we're going to click Insert. Okay? All right. Now, the next part of the lesson, it talks a little bit about how you can change the size, and it shows you how you can adjust the size here. You can bring this, if you see the little tabs around here, you put your cursor on, they allow you to resize it. So I can go to here, and I can reset. See, this is the reset pictures here, any changes that you make. Or you can just say Control Z, whatever you like, whichever's easier for you. Okay. I'm a little partial to Control Z myself. Finally, on the far right side of the Picture Tools Format tab, which is now available now that we've actually clicked on a picture, we can change the size. So we're going to turn over to here, and we're going to change. Well, actually, let me jump. I'm jumping ahead. Let's go to on the range group. Let's go to Wrap Text, and let's select Square. What that does is it basically wraps the text around the picture. No matter where I move it, the picture actually, the text wraps around it. Okay, so I can move it to here. It doesn't make a difference. The text wraps around the picture. Okay, the next part of the lesson talks about resizing, which I just showed you a moment ago. Ultimately, we're going to change the height of the picture, of the format here, to 3.8. So we can come over and type 3.8, or we can use the arrows to select it. And because the way it is, if when you change the height, the width automatically changes along with it. Okay, let's go ahead and save that. Page 129, moving a picture. So we want to take this picture and move it to the right side. We're going to grab it and we're going to move it to the right side. That's one way we can do it. We can move it. That's one thing you can do. Or another option is if we right click on the picture and select Format Picture. Oh, I'm sorry, wrong option. Right click on the picture and select Size and Position. We have some options here. So what we can do is we can go to height would be relative. position. We're going to choose alignment, and we're going to choose right, and that is going to be relative to the margin. And we're going to choose vertical, and we're going to choose top. That's going to be relative to the line, and we're going to choose OK. Okay, and it aligns it perfectly the way we want it. So that's one option you have for moving it and aligning it. All right. And let's go ahead and save that. All right. Page 130, applying picture effects. We're in the Picture Tools Format tab, and we're going to go ahead and click on the Picture Style Effects. We're going to go down to Soft Edges and choose 5-point. Okay. You can see the effects that we've chosen. Now, if you look on the far side of you see Artist Effects, there are a number of effects here that you can put your cursor over top of. Okay? Take a look at all of them. You can take a moment to kind of select them and peruse them. Okay? After you look at them all, you go to the second row in the third gallery and choose Paintbrush. But again, these are some interesting effects that can give your picture some feeling. All right, and that's how you apply effects to the picture. All right, next part of the lesson is we're going to talk about adding a page border. Make sure you click off of your picture, because if you do this, the next step, without doing that, you'll actually put a border around the picture. I've seen people do that plenty of times. And we're going to go to the Design tab, and on the far right side, we're going to select Page Borders. Okay, and here this is the page border box. Okay, we're going to go ahead and choose the first option, which is Box. Okay, you can change the style here, the color, the width, the artistic one, which we're not going to look at this point. So we're going to choose Box, and we're going to choose the color. So we'll go to here, we're going to drop down and select Orange Accent 2, and we're going to go ahead and hit OK, and that applies the page border to the entire document. Okay, all right. Moving right along. The next part of the lesson is we're going to talk about inserting, positioning a shape. Okay, let's go ahead and put our cursor. Let's go ahead and go up to the Insert tab, and we're going to go to Shapes, and we're going to select Rounded Rectangle. Now, once you select this, what's going to happen is your cursor becomes a cross, like you see here. What that basically does, it allows you to select the upper left-hand corner that you want to draw. So I want to draw it down here. So I come to here, hold my mouse button down, and I draw it, just like so. Don't worry too much about the size. We're going to change the size in just a moment. Okay? So I've drawn the picture. I've drawn the picture, the box. All right. This is our rounded rectangular shape box. Okay, we're going to go ahead and change the alignment. So we want to go ahead. There's a couple of options. We can choose position, more layout options. Or you can just right-click and choose position. So okay, from here we want to choose the horizontal alignment as centered with the page. Okay, and we're going to choose the vertical alignment. And we're going to choose that bottom with, absolute position of 1 inch below the paragraph. Okay, we're going to hit OK. And then we're going to change the size of this to 1.5 high and 4.5 and we come down and we can see that it is exactly where we like it. All right. Let's go ahead on the bottom of page 133 and let's add some text to the shape. So we're going to click in the shape, and we're going to go ahead and type in to set up an interview, apply online at enter www sturgeon point productions.com. Okay. Let's go ahead and take Control A to select all the text. We're going to go back to our Home tab. We're going to bold it. We're going to change the font size to 16 point. Okay. And then we're going to change the font color to black. All right. All right. Let's go ahead and click on the box itself. We want to go ahead and change the color of the box as well. So we're going to click back up on here, and we're going to go to Shape Fill, and we're going to go ahead and choose the color of Orange Accent 2 letter 40. And then we're going to choose the shape outline color, same thing, accent 40. All right. Okay. Over on page 134, let's go up to the top here. Let's go up a little higher, Control Home to bring us to the top. And let's come down to here and hit the enter a couple times, about 3 times. Okay. And we're going to insert a text box. So let's go to the text insert. And let's go to text. And let's go ahead and hit draw text box. And it's the same rule applies with text box as shape box. We're going to draw the text box like so. Okay. In the text box, we're going to type in, as you can see on the page 134, interviews will be held, Fridays and Friday and Saturday, January 14 and 15. In the Career Services Conference Room. Okay. All right. The next part of the lesson talks about resizing the text box. Okay. And it's really pretty much the same way we've been doing with the picture, with the shape box. Let's go to Position, and let's go to More Layout Options. We're going to choose the horizontal alignment to be centered along with the page, and we're going to choose the vertical alignment to be 1.25 below the margin. Okay. We're also going to use the size here. We're going to change the height to 1.25, and again, this is why it really doesn't matter what size, and the width to 4. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and hit OK. I'll move that up just a little bit. All right. Let me make sure I did the height correctly here. Height 1.25, absolute. I did this incorrectly. Let's just set for 1. There you go. You can always adjust it if need be. All right. Next part of the lesson we're going to look at, like we did before a moment ago, we adjusted the. Let's go ahead and select all the text here. Let's go to set for bold. We're going to set the font size to 16 again, and then we're going to center. Okay. All right. Finally, we're going to choose here like we did before. We're going to go to here. We're going to change the shape fill color to be, actually, so let's drop this down and select styles and go ahead and select the first option. And then we're going to choose the shadow, and we're going to set that to be first row, first effect of outer. Okay, and that's how you'd set that. All right. All right, finally on to page 135, adding a file name to the footer and inserting text. Okay, so we want to go ahead and add our file name to the footer. Okay, so what we want to do is go up to the Insert tab, and we're going to go to Footer, and we're going to go to Edit Footer, and then we're going to go up to, from here, we're going to go to the Header and Footer Tools Design tab. We're going to go to Quick Parts, Field, and we're going to go to File Name. Okay. All right, we're going to leave it the way it is, none, uppercase, lowercase. We can leave it the way it is, and we're going to go ahead and hit OK. All right, and that's how you insert a footer. Now, one of the things I tell students oftentimes is if you can't remember how to do the quick parts, field, file name, it's not a big issue. You can always type in the name of the document. The only thing you can't type in here is the page number. Besides that, you can actually type in everything in here. All right, and once you're done with that, you can close the footer and the header. All right, and that's pretty much our document. Let's go to the file, and let's go to the print. And that gives you a little print preview. Okay, for some reason it does that, by the way. I don't know why. Even though it shows it's correctly, it is actually there's a little bit of a glitch here. So we go to print preview. It shows you the whole thing. Okay. All right. Finally, let's go to info, and let's go ahead and put some document properties in. What this does is this makes your document searchable. Let's say if you were to take your document and add it to a document library, this would make it searchable. So we go to properties and we go to show document panel. We're over, by the way, on page 136. We have our name there. Under keywords, we're going to type internship, and then in documentary. If I can spell correctly. All right, and that's how you add to the document panels. Finally, the last thing we want to do, so let's go back to File, back to Print, and there's our print preview. Let's go ahead and you can see if you expand out it shows the whole thing. Okay. All right, you can see the whole thing. All right. Finally, we're going to save as a PDF. A PDF, by the way, is a file that's used heavily by Adobe. It's just a different file format. So we would go to Save As. We would go to Browse. And we're going to go to here. We're going to call this, drop this down and choose PDF. And then we're going to go ahead and save it. All right. And that is 1A. By the way, this is the file that you should be submitting, not the PDF file. This is the file you will be submitting for Chapter 1A's submission homework.